Gemini. Can you feel it? Something in the air is changing. A kind of energy that's hard to name, as if the universe is whispering something your heart has always known, but never dared to admit. Lately, do you feel like everything familiar suddenly feels distant? Conversations don't touch you the way they used to. Relationships that once made you laugh now leave behind quiet spaces. You're still smiling, still lively, still talking like always, but there are nights when you lie in silence, staring at the ceiling and asking yourself, who am I really living for? This isn't a coincidence, Gemini. This November brings a destined ending, not to punish you, but to free your soul from the roles that have become too small. You've spent so long reading others' emotions, adapting to every situation, becoming who the world wanted to see. But at some point, even the twin within you begins to whisper, it's time to return home. The universe is sending you an invitation, a journey of rebirth through your own truth. No more performances. No more smiling masks hiding a breaking heart. This is the moment to listen to the deepest voice within the voice of your own soul. If something inside your heart is resonating right now, comment below. I'm ready for my divine ending. To confirm with the universe that you're ready to step through this new doorway. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every click is an energy signal to the universe that you choose yourself. Now, take a deep breath, pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, and sit with me. Because what you're about to hear isn't just an astrology story, it's a personal message from the universe meant just for you, Gemini. Part 1. The Call Within the Silence. Gemini, have you ever felt like the world around you has become so loud that even the voice of your own heart gets drowned out? You still smile, still move with ease, still seem like the person who can talk to anyone, lighting up every room you walk into, yet sometimes, when the lights go out, you realize that no one truly sees you. Maybe it's not because they don't want to, but because you've learned to hide yourself too well. You were born with a rare gift, the ability to connect, to understand others deeply, to say exactly what they need to hear. But that very gift has become a weight, because to understand them, you've had to make yourself smaller. Sometimes you laugh not because you're happy, but because you don't want others to see you're tired. Sometimes you say, I'm fine, just to keep the peace, even when you're falling apart inside. And then, in the quiet of the night, when the world goes silent, your soul begins to whisper, but what about me? This November, the energy of the stars is stirring something deep within your soul. Mercury, your ruling planet, begins to speak directly to old wounds you've tried to avoid. Every word, every thought, every memory you thought was gone returns, as if the universe is gently turning a mirror toward you, showing you yourself so clearly that you can no longer pretend. Gemini, you've spent so much time living in rhythm with others. You mirror their emotions, resonate with their pain, you heal them, and yet you've forgotten what your own soul longs for. The universe doesn't want you to continue like this. This November, it sends you strange signs, coincidences, unexpected encounters, moments that give you chills because you sense something bigger is being arranged. You may start to feel distant from people you were once close to. A door may close suddenly, or an opportunity you thought was yours may vanish. Don't be afraid. This is not punishment. It's the universe's way of making you pause so you can hear the real calling within, because you can only find your soul again in silence, not in the noise of expectations or the roles you've grown too tired to play. There's a part of you, the truest part, that wants to come alive again. That part doesn't want to choose its words carefully just to be accepted. It doesn't want to hide tears just to maintain the image of a strong Gemini. It just wants to sit still, to breathe, to love, without pretending. The universe is calling you home, Gemini. Back to your true self, where you don't need to be clever to be heard, don't need to be cheerful to be loved, don't need to understand anyone except yourself. When you begin to answer this call, your life will start to shift. The right people will stay. What no longer belongs will fade. And within that silence, you'll hear something that never disappeared. Your worth was never dependent on anyone. Gemini, it's time to stop searching for answers outside of yourself. The answers are already within, in your breath, in the tears you haven't shed, in the dreams you once forgot. November doesn't come to hurt you, but to open a door to truth. And only when you dare to listen will you realize that all these changes are truly a gift. Take a moment, breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and hear me say this. You don't have to understand everything right now. You just need to listen. Every question you have about love, about purpose, about loss, will be answered, one step at a time, through the journey you're about to begin. Call to action. If these words are touching something deep within your heart, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to hear my truth," to confirm with the universe that you're ready to listen to your inner calling. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because this journey is only beginning, and each message that follows will bring you closer to the truest version of yourself. Part 2. The Illusion of Adaptation. Gemini, you've always known how to make others feel comfortable. Wherever you go, you can blend in like water, soft, flexible, reflecting every color of the world around you. You can talk to the lonely and make them smile. You can listen to a wounded heart and make them believe everything will be okay. But when the door closes, when there's no one left for you to cheer up, do you ever ask yourself, who listens to me? Because sometimes that very gift of adaptability becomes an invisible mask you change. To fit in, you stay silent. To avoid upsetting anyone, you smile. To keep the peace. And little by little, Gemini, you lose yourself. You can no longer tell what's real in you and what's just a survival reflex. You don't know if you're speaking your truth or just saying what will make you accepted. Gemini is the sign of duality, light and shadow, logic and emotion, laughter and tears. You understand both sides of every story, and that's exactly what makes you trapped in the illusion of adaptation. You understand others so deeply that you forget you too are someone who deserves to be understood. You empathize so much that you become a mirror for other people's desires. And in that mirror, your own reflection fades away. This November, as the planets move through the most private corners of your chart, the universe is forcing you to face a question: who are you when there's no one left to please? Mercury, guardian of words and thought, is testing you with silence. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel awkward. People who always needed you suddenly seem distant. It's not to hurt you, but to reveal a deeper truth. You've spent too long being the one with answers, forgetting you also have the right to ask. Gemini, you don't have to change your colors every time you walk into a new room. You don't have to translate yourself into the language others want to hear, because those who truly see you will see your complexity and contradictions, your sharp mind and tender heart, and they will love all of it. No fixing, no hiding, no proving. Maybe you've been afraid that if you're no longer cheerful, no longer talkative, no longer interesting, no one will stay. But what you're about to realize is this: anyone who leaves when you become real was never meant to stay. The universe is teaching you the greatest lesson of the twin soul. Not everyone deserves to see both sides of you, and only when you dare to remove the masks layer by layer will you finally see your true face. A pure, radiant soul that doesn't need to prove anything to be loved. In the past, you believed your greatest gift was the ability to understand others. But now, Gemini, the real gift is the ability to understand yourself. When you know yourself, you no longer need to perform. When you're honest with yourself, you no longer fear rejection. When you live authentically, you begin to attract people who speak your soul's language, those who don't need you to try in order to love you. The universe is asking you to do something simple yet hardest of all. Stop. Stop trying to read everyone's emotions. Stop playing the role of the peacemaker. Stop using your intelligence to hide your pain. Let yourself be real. Let your face reflect your truest emotion, even if it's sadness, exhaustion, or emptiness. Because in that very moment, your soul begins to heal, and you'll see those who truly deserve your energy won't walk away when they see your vulnerability. They'll sit beside you in silence and still stay. Gemini, don't be afraid if this month feels unfamiliar. The truth is, you're not losing anyone, you're shedding layers that no longer fit. And when they fall away, you'll see yourself more clearly than ever before. Call to action. If you've ever felt like you've been living as two different people, one for the world and one for yourself, comment, "No more masks," to send a signal to the universe that you choose to live authentically. And if these words make your heart soften, hit subscribe and keep walking this awakening journey with us. The path back to your true self is only beginning, and each video ahead will be another piece that helps you remember who you really are. Part 3. The fated ending of November. Gemini, you can probably feel it, the energy of this November is different. Everything around you seems to be shifting, subtly, but enough to make your heart sway. What once felt familiar no longer feels right. The people who were once close now seem to drift away, and deep down, you know, this isn't random. It's a destined ending. Maybe it's a relationship you've been holding on to, even though it hurts you. Maybe it's a job that drains your soul, yet you're afraid to let go. Or perhaps it's simply an old mindset, the one that makes you feel you must always be worthy, perfect, pleasing others, just to be loved. All of these are reaching their closure, and no matter how tightly you try to hold on, the universe will gently yet firmly unhook your fingers from what no longer belongs to you. Gemini, you were born to change. But this time, the change isn't about adapting, it's about freeing yourself. This ending isn't a loss. It's a sacred rebirth of the soul. Those who leave aren't taking any part of you, they're only taking away the illusions you once thought you needed. The doors that close aren't blocking you. They're protecting you from rooms where the light has gone out. In astrology, when a cycle ends, the universe always leaves a space. And that space is where something new is meant to enter. But as everything seems to crumble, you might feel loneliness deep in your bones. You might wake up in the middle of the night, wondering if you're losing everything. Gemini, no, you're not losing. You're being set free. Free from expectations, from dependency, from the false belief that you must carry others' pain to prove your worth. This November, the planets are rearranging your energy. Mercury, the planet of intellect, is illuminating the darkest corners of your mind, helping you see the stories you've told yourself for years. That you must be the best to be recognized, that you must give the most to be loved, that if you stop, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, nothing is collapsing except the illusions you no longer need. This is the moment of spiritual death where your old self dissolves, so your true essence can be reborn. Let the tears fall if they must. Don't resist. Each tear is washing away memories, wounds, and burdens you've carried for too long without realizing it. The emotions rising now aren't weakness, they are purification. And when the wave passes, you'll feel something rare: peace. A still, quiet peace, so real that it makes you want to hold yourself close. Gemini, you no longer need to play the role of healer in relationships where you're always the one giving. You no longer have to be the shoulder for those who only come when they need comfort. The universe is dissolving expired soul contracts, connections that once taught you love, compassion, and boundaries. But once the lesson is learned, you don't need to repeat it again. This is the destined ending, the moment you stop carrying the emotional weight of the world and start carrying the responsibility for your own happiness. From this moment on, you'll realize you don't need to save anyone anymore. No one needs you to be their light you were born to shine for yourself. You'll feel your energy pulling away from what drains you and moving toward what makes your soul feel light and free. And that's how rebirth begins. Not by becoming someone new, but by returning to who you truly are. This November, you are being called to close one chapter and step into another. It won't come loudly. It arrives through small signs: a feeling, a conversation, a recurring dream. Pay attention, because the universe is speaking to you in the language of synchronicity. Every sign is a message. It's time to let go. And when you do, when you dare to release it all, you'll feel the lightness, as if a heavy shell has finally fallen from your heart. Because Gemini, you were never born to be trapped. You were born to fly, and this November, your wings are opening once again. Call to action. If you feel that this November is bringing powerful transformative energy into your life, comment, "I release and rise," as a promise to your own soul. I choose to let go so I can rise higher. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because from this moment forward, the universe will keep sending you more divine messages to guide your journey of freedom and rebirth. Part 4. Healing and Forgiveness. Gemini. On this journey, perhaps the hardest thing isn't letting go. It's forgiveness. Not just forgiving those who hurt you, but forgiving yourself for allowing it to happen for so long, for staying silent when your soul wanted to speak, for pretending to be fine when you were breaking inside, for smiling to keep the peace, even when your heart wanted to cry, and for trying to be loved in ways that made you lose yourself. Gemini, you carry the energy of air, free, flexible, ever-moving, but that same nature makes you more forgiving of others than of yourself. You always see the reasons, the perspectives, the pain behind people's actions, to the point that you allow them to hurt you simply because you understand. You forgive them before they even say sorry. Yet you condemn yourself every time you're too soft or trust the wrong person. The universe sees that. And this November, the energies of Mercury and Neptune are guiding you toward healing through awareness. Awareness that you don't have to carry responsibility for the wounds others caused. You are not the source of their pain, and you no longer need to punish yourself for past choices. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiveness means you stop letting the past define who you are. It's when you can look back at memories that once made your heart ache. But this time, there are no more tears, because you know you've moved through it. You've walked through that darkness, and your heart still knows how to love, still knows how to believe, still knows how to live authentically. That, Gemini, is the greatest victory of your soul. Sometimes forgiveness is harder than love, because love is opening your heart, while forgiveness is accepting that everything happened the way it did, and letting it go. Forgiveness is telling yourself, I am not perfect, and I don't need to be perfect to deserve love. It's when you stop trying to fix the past and instead choose to live better today. Gemini, maybe you've felt guilty for walking away from someone, for saying words that hurt, or for not being able to save someone from their pain. But remember, you were never born to save anyone. You were born to be real, to learn how to love without losing yourself, to teach others what it means to love without attachment. And every mistake, every wound, every heartbreak is an essential part of that lesson. Forgiving yourself doesn't happen overnight. It's a process like gently taking off layers of heavy clothing, false beliefs, and the endless what-ifs you've repeated in your mind. One day, you'll suddenly realize you're breathing easier, lighter, because you're no longer carrying the past in every heartbeat. And in that moment, Gemini, you'll understand. Forgiveness is freedom. You may still remember, but it no longer hurts. You may still see someone's face, but it no longer shakes you. Because you know that without them, you wouldn't have grown this much. Without those losses, you wouldn't have learned how to truly love yourself. And without those long, lonely nights, you would never have discovered that it was you, not anyone else, who saved your own soul. Forgiveness is the stage where your energy becomes completely purified. When you release guilt and stop self-blame, you open the door for light to enter. And that light doesn't just heal your wounds, it turns them into strength. Every crack, every scar becomes a place where the light shines through, reminding you, I once fell, but I rose, and I am still me. Gemini, forgiving yourself is the bravest act you can do this November. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it changes everything. Because only when you truly forgive can you love again, not someone else, but your most authentic self. And when you reach that state, you'll notice the world shifting too. Everything feels lighter, relationships become clearer, and you'll attract souls who see you not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Call to action. If you feel it's time to release the old weight you've been carrying, comment, I forgive myself. Because forgiveness is the first miracle that opens the next chapter of your journey. Hit like to send this healing energy to other souls who need it. And subscribe to continue receiving the messages the universe has prepared just for you. Gemini. Part 5. Rebirth and living as your true self. Gemini. As you step through the doorway of November, you are no longer the same. No longer the one who tries to guess what others want to hear. No longer the one who borrows a smile to hide the pain. No longer the soul standing at a crossroads, torn between being loved and being yourself. Now, you choose you. Everything you've been through lately has not been meaningless. Every wound, every tear, every moment of loneliness. It was all the universe sculpting your soul, preparing you for this exact moment, the moment of rebirth. As you enter this stage, the twin energies within you, light and shadow, logic and emotion, begin to merge into one. No more inner battles. No more dividing between what's right and what feels true. You finally understand that both exist for a reason, and together they make you whole, perfectly imperfect. This is the phase of spiritual rebirth. Quiet, unseen, yet profound to the core. You begin to realize that true strength doesn't come from always being right, but from daring to be real. You dare to express your feelings without fearing judgment. You dare to love someone without trying to control the outcome. You dare to walk your own path, even if others don't understand. And most importantly, you dare to stand by yourself. Gemini, this is the time to look back at your journey with gratitude. Grateful for those who left, for they taught you boundaries. Grateful for those who stayed, for they saw your true soul. And grateful for yourself, because no matter how many times you broke, you never stopped searching for the light. That is your essence. A soul born to learn, to evolve, and to love endlessly. The universe is now preparing to send you clear signs, people, opportunities, and synchronicities that mirror the new frequency you've reached. You'll start meeting people who make you feel safe to be yourself. You'll step into spaces where your ideas are heard, not judged. You'll receive opportunities that align so perfectly, it will feel as though the universe itself has arranged them so your new self can shine at the right time. From now on, you'll no longer fear losing anyone because you've found yourself. You'll stop trying to control the future because you understand that the future is only a reflection of the energy you carry today. And when that energy is truth, everything else becomes clear. Remember, Gemini, the universe never wanted you to become someone else. It only wanted you to come home to the version of yourself that got lost in the noise, to the radiant soul once covered by doubt. When you return home, you'll realize you never truly lost anything. You only forgot who was holding it all along you. And one morning, you'll wake up and feel different. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because you no longer need it to be perfect in order to feel at peace. You'll look in the mirror and smile genuinely, not because you're free of scars, but because you know each one is proof of a brave soul. You'll sense a new energy in the air, lighter, brighter, filled with hope. Gemini, this is the greatest gift of this fated November. Your return to a self that is real, free, strong, and no longer needs validation to know its worth. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fight to be loved. Because you now love yourself deeply enough to know just by existing, you are already a miracle. The universe smiles as you awaken, because you are part of the light it sent to Earth, a reminder that no one needs to be perfect to be loved. You just need to be real, to believe, and to dare to begin again. And that's enough. Gemini, this is your moment to rise. Take a deep breath and step into your new chapter, not with fear, but with faith. Faith that you are enough, faith that you are worthy, and faith that from this day forward, you will no longer live in illusion, but live authentically, fully, and unafraid of your own light. Call to action. If you feel your soul is ready to live authentically, comment, "I am ready to be real," to confirm with the universe that you have awakened. Like, subscribe, and share this video with other Geminis who are on the same journey, because perhaps your words today could be the light someone else needs in their darkest night. Gemini, as you reach the final lines of this video, perhaps your heart is trembling somewhere deep inside, because you didn't just hear an astrological message, you just journeyed through a process of healing, one where you've seen yourself more clearly than ever before. You've learned that no one can truly love you enough if you still refuse to love yourself. You've understood that endings are not losses. They're how the universe helps you reclaim your freedom. And you've realized that truth never weakens you. It only frees you from what isn't real. Remember, your journey doesn't end here. Each day, you'll keep evolving, learning to listen to yourself, and living in harmony with your soul. This November is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you no longer need to be someone, but simply be yourself. When you dare to live truthfully, you not only heal yourself, but inspire others to do the same. That is the true power of an awakened Gemini spreading light through authenticity. If this video touched your heart, or awakened even a small part of you, comment below. I'm ready to live my truth, to affirm to the universe that you are ready to live authentically. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because maybe your single act of sharing could be the very message another Gemini soul needs to hear tonight. Carry this lesson with you. When you stop running away from yourself, you begin to meet miracles. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey with me. Wishing you a peaceful, powerful, and faith-filled November 1 that leads you gently into your rebirth. See you in the next video, where the universe will once again have something new to whisper, just for you, Gemini.